This is Shuttle Launch Control, and we are at T-minus 20 minutes and holding. This is a 10-minute scheduled built-in hold. During this time, NASA Test Director Jeff Spaulding will ask members of the test team to verify that the correct computer software has been loaded into the computers for the remainder of the count. And also during this hold, we will verify that the pre-flight initial measurement unit alignment has been complete. The Landing and Recovery Director will now be asking if the shuttle landing site is ready and configured for launch, and also a readiness check of the transatlantic oceanic contingency sites will be made. A final check to see if the booster recovery ships is now ready, and they are reporting that they are on station in the Atlantic as well. Again, this hold will last for about another 9 minutes, 15 seconds. This is a standard built-in hold. We'll be receiving a number of additional weather briefings right now. Our weather forecast remains very good. There is a slight chance of some showers in the area, but the temperatures are going to be at 82 degrees. We're looking at some scattered clouds around 3,000 feet. We are discussing the wind issue at the shuttle landing facility. Right now we're looking at possible peaking winds up to about 16 knots. So this is all being discussed. Right now everything is go. It looks like the trend is in our favor, and we're planning for a good launch today. With about 8.5 minutes remaining in our scheduled built-in hold, we are at T-minus 20 minutes and holding. This is Shuttle Launch Control.
Ready to copy.
Discovery on page 2-7 at the bottom, your new post-ohms assist number. Percent ohms per side is 7.3, and dump time is 2:29.
Okay, copy at the bottom of 2-7. Ohms per side will be 7.3. Dump time 2:29.
That's a good readback. Next update is all the way near the back, page 8-7 for the Block 1 trajectory message.
And Houston, we're ready to copy on 8-7.
Discovery 8-7, bottom left-hand corner for max rates. Your max rates in first stage, roll 2 degrees per second at 70 seconds. Pitch 1 degree per second at 60 seconds. Yaw is less than 1 degree per second. And your trajectory lofting in second stage is none.
Okay, on 8-7, roll of 2 degrees per second at 70 seconds, pitch of 1 degree per second at 60 seconds, yaw of less than 1 degree per second, trajectory lofting in second stage is none.
That's a good readback, Discovery, and that completes the ascent checklist update.
CDR-TC. Copy all, thanks. CDR-TC. Set for CDR?
Yes, there's OTC. Close cabin vent valves for your checklist.
Copy and work. OTC CDR closed vent valve steps complete.
OTC copies. ECL verify A89. It's verified. FCO NTD for ComCheck.
NTD, FCO 212, read you loud and clear, Helmy.
I read you the same, thank you. CHGD, CGSS, and JBFX verify active on 212 and monitor 232 for remainder of count. CHGD? CHGD?
CHGD verified.
Copy. CGSS?
CGSS verified.
And JBFX?
JBFX verified.
Copy all.
890 complete.
OTC, CGNC.
Oh.
Set 962, DU2 RSIS has been returned to C12.
DPS copy.
DPS copy.
JRPS OTC.
JRPS.
905.
905 is complete.
NTD Houston flight.
Go flight.
I can give you step 877. Our SIMO air-to-ground voice checks and ascent crew data update are complete.
Copy, thank you.
CGSS OTC 969.
Security console NTD on 212.
CGSS copy, go for 969 HCU pump. CGSS OTC. CGSS. Copy 969, your start your second HCU pump. Repeat, please. You're locked on. 969, start second HCU pump. Copy that, sir. Complete.
Safety console into the N212. Safety NTD.
Safety.
Step 874, we verified that over on 232 with security.
Okay. Copy 874. Come out 1 second. Let me get to step.
All right, give me a minute here. I'm going to do the Tminus-20 briefing. And attention all personnel, this is the NTD conducting the T-20-minute briefing. Our launch window open time today is at 18:34:26, and our launch window closes at 18:41:39. And that gives us 5 minutes of lock train back hold time for the window open time, and that is based on performance. All of our launch window and lock train back hold times and the preferred selection times will be announced during the T-9-minute hold. There are no launch window cutouts or COLAs today. TLT, at T-5 minutes, perform APU start upon command of OTC only.
CLT copies.
And CDR, our pad egress system is nominal, and our evac helipad is 9. Firing and launch team after T-20 minutes. All problems or trends requiring a countdown clock hold will be reported to the NTD on 212 together with a recommendation. For any manual holds after T-5 minutes, the countdown clock will continue until T-31 seconds unless the recommendation to hold at the next milestone is necessary. After T-31, only cutoff is available and will result in a recycle to T-20. For a cutoff, the pro words CGLS give cutoff will be used. Our GLS milestones are as listed, and that concludes the T-20-minute briefing.
NTD safety 212.
Go safety.
1005.
950, 951 not performed.
STM NTD, step 1006, we can terminate video tracking and recording. And STM also 1007 to deactivate pad OISD. Give me a copy.
STM copies.
And for all personnel, our countdown clock will resume from 20 and 55 seconds. And all console operators discontinue all LDB commands and reads during pass ops transition. SRO NTD, our KSC area is clear for launch at this time.
SRO copies out. Thank you, sir.
This is Shuttle Launch Control at T-20 minutes and holding with about 20 seconds remaining in our hold. About to come out of this hold, and Discovery's onboard computers will then transition into the terminal phase of the countdown configuration. And following this, the launch team will check the computer memory of the 5 primary computers on Discovery to make sure the programs are properly stored.
1, mark.
And we're at T-20 minutes and counting. From this point until the T-31 second mark, any of the scores of console operators in the firing room may ask that the count be held if a problem is detected. Also, a purge of the 3 onboard cryogenic fuel cells will be underway soon. The data processing system engineer is confirming that the onboard computers are in the process of making the transition to the terminal countdown configuration, and this is about a 7-minute operation. We have one more remaining hold in this count. That comes at T-9 minutes. That hold will extend for about 45 minutes.
OTC DPS, pass up transition complete. DPS ready for BFS transition to Ops 101. Copy 974. CDR OTC.
CDR, go.
Clear the path fault from Spec 99 Pro and take BFS to Ops 1 per your checklist.
Copy and work.
T-minus 18 minutes and counting.
NTD STM. Go STM. We'll give you 1019.
OTC, CDR, Ops 1 load, and BFS to Ops 1 steps are all complete.
Copy that. 976 or 979 complete. TLT OTC.
CLT, go.
Perform horizontal fit config per your checklist.
CLT and work.
CDR OTC.
CDR, go.
Config contingency abort yaw.
We are now at T-minus 16 minutes and counting. And we heard the pilot of the Discovery. The pilot, Mark Kelly, is now configuring the horizontal situation displays on his side of the flight deck for launch. He is also performing the main propulsion system helium reconfiguration. This will allow the helium isolation valves that will permit in-flight purges of the 3 engines, as well as provide an emergency source of pressure for pneumatic shutdown of the engines if that's required. Water levels in the water spray boilers are being checked and verified for the mission.
NTD, CVFS. Go ahead, CVFS. Ready for BFS uplink. Copy. In Houston flight, NTD, perform the BFS pre-flight uplink loading.
NTD Houston flight will put it in work.
Copy.
OTC PLT horizontal fit config complete.
Copy that. PLT 985 and 986 complete. PLT OTC.
PLT, go ahead.
Perform MPS helium reconfig.
PLT in work. OTC PLT MPS helium reconfigs complete.
OTC copies 994 through 996 complete. EPD and FCP OTC 212. This is EPD. This is FCP. You got to go at 1011 for adjust fuel cell loads. CPD copy. And FCP copies. NTD Launch Director 212. Go ahead, Launch Director. Yes, sir. I've discussed the launch window with the flight director, and we've chosen to launch at the preferred time today, please. Okay. We'll set that up here momentarily.
And we're coming up on T-minus 12 minutes and counting, and we are receiving verification that the contingency support operations are on board and ready to support for today's launch. Emergency aircraft and personnel are reporting in place and on station. Looking for the T-minus 20-minute dump of the orbiter's general purpose computer that's being completed as scheduled. And all non-essential personnel have been confirmed to be clear of the launch danger area at this time. T-minus 11 minutes and counting. The countdown clock will hold in 2 minutes at the scheduled T-minus 9-minute mark. This hold will extend for about 45 minutes.
Attention to that, all orbiter systems, discontinue all non-mandatory LDB traffic for remainder of count. 16:10:20.
NTD Houston flight.
Go ahead, flight.
I can give you step 992. Our BFS pre-flight uplink loads are complete.
Copy. CVFS, you copy? Copy.
T-minus 10 minutes and counting. And we're just a few seconds away from entering the last of our planned built-in holds. And we are at T-minus 9 minutes and holding. And this is a scheduled hold that will last for about 45 minutes. Everything remains on course for launch of the Space Shuttle Discovery. There are no technical issues being discussed. And our weather forecast remains very favorable. At this time, we'll go to the Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas for a brief update by Public Affairs Officer Rob Navius from Mission Control.
Houston Flight NTD on 21.
This is Mission Control Houston at T-minus 9 minutes and holding. Flight controllers belonging to the Ascent team have been on console since about 6:30 this morning, monitoring Discovery systems in preparation for today's launch. The Ascent team is led by Flight Director Steve Stitch, who's presiding over his first launch, with the assistance of astronaut Steve Frick, who's the spacecraft communicator, or Capcom. Frick will be talking directly to the crew during Discovery's 8.5-minute ride to orbit. He's joined on console today by astronaut Tony Antonelli, who has been monitoring weather conditions at the Kennedy Space Center. Frick and Antonelli have been in direct contact with astronaut Mike Bloomfield, who's flying the shuttle training aircraft around the vicinity of the shuttle landing strip at the Cape. Bloomfield, among other things, is assessing crosswinds, which are brisk today, but at the moment within handling capability in the event of a return to launch site abort. At the time of Discovery's launch, the International Space Station will be orbiting over the southern Pacific Ocean south of Tasmania. Discovery's launch is timed to match the moment when the Earth's rotation carries Launch Pad 39B into the corridor or plane of the station's orbit. Down the hall from the shuttle flight control room, another team of flight controllers currently on duty in the International Space Station flight control room, led by Flight Director John Curry, as they watch over the activities of the Expedition 13 crew aboard the International Space Station. Commander Pavel Vinogradov and NASA Flight Engineer and Science Officer Jeff Williams are in their 97th day in space since their launch March 30th in a Soyuz rocket from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. This is an off-duty day for the station crew as they await the arrival of Discovery. Shuttle flight controllers here in Houston also watching weather conditions at the overseas abort sites in Spain and France, which would be used in the event of an engine failure early in Discovery's climb to orbit. Morón, Spain is considered the prime transoceanic abort site today for Discovery and its crew. Discovery's 7 crew members will go to work shortly after the shuttle's payload bay doors are open, activating systems, unstowing gear, and preparing for their first 8-hour sleep period in orbit, which is due to begin just after 8 p.m. Central Time tonight. Again, as we monitor systems and the weather down the home stretch of today's countdown, the Ascent team and Flight Director Steve Stitch set to take over control of the 32nd flight of Discovery and the 115th mission in shuttle program history at solid rocket booster ignition. At T-minus 9 minutes and holding, this is Mission Control Houston.
CMPS, OTC. MPS. You got to go at 1028 to do the depletion sensor. Copy. CGLS NTD. CLS. Okay, let's go ahead and set for a countdown clock resume time at T-minus 9 of 18:28:55 GMT.
18:28:55, we'll put that in.
Copy.
OTC CDR.
CDR OTC?
Yeah, with your permission, we'd like to lock our visors and some of us press up our suits at this time.
CDR, I'm sorry, but that came through a little bit distorted. Could you say again, please?
Yeah, just requesting to press up our suits.
Affirm.
Okay, copy, that's in work.
OTC MPS. Go ahead. At 10:55, our depletion sensor simulated command removal is complete. Copy that. Thank you. Deep. Go ahead. 10:55. Copy.
TPC copies 10:55.
CMQC taken up, perform 10:54.
Copy. OTC, CMQC.
Go ahead.
Line item 20 has been removed from the constraints list.
That's the last one, right?
Negative. We still got a line item 17.
Copy, 17. CMQC NTD. Go ahead. Okay, how does our constraints look? Which items do we still have open?
All we have open right now, sir, is line item 17 on 1093.
Okay, that's IPR 196, correct?
That's affirmed, sir. And from what I understand, it's being upgraded, and then it'll be gone very soon.
Okay, I'll assume that'll happen within 38 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just let us know when that's complete. GOIS entity.
This is GOIS, go ahead.
Okay, ready for some status on ground cameras if you have that available.
Yes, all the ground cameras are ready to support. Are you ready for the fill-in?
Yes, I am. Okay, long range north is 7. Long range south is 8. Medium range north is 5. Medium range south is 6. Medium range west is 6. And short range is 6.
Okay, copy all. And no other issues, right?
We are working no issues.
Terrific, thank you.
And STS-212.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir, I'm reporting our computer's final load is complete.
Okay, we copy, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Houston Flight NTD.
NTD Houston Flight.
The G1 launch target uplink, do we have to do that today?
The G1 launch target uplink and BFS target uplink are not required.
Very good.
And I have launch window close and drain back hold time updates when you're ready to copy.
All right, stand by 1 moment. Okay, and flight, I'm ready to copy.
Okay, the only updates are to the window close and drain back hold. The window close is 18:41:36, and the drain back hold is 3:54. How copy?
Our new window close is 18:41:36, and our new drain back hold time is 3 minutes 54 seconds.
Good copy, Jeff.
All right, and let's see, OTC, TBC, PTC, LPS, MILA, STM, Safety Console, SPE, LRD, SRO, CDR, and CGLS. Just to give you an update here, our window close time has changed slightly, 3 seconds to the left. New time is 18:41:36. Okay, copy. And our new performance for our lock drain back is 3 minutes and 54 seconds. All other times are as indicated previously.
TBC copies. Safety copies. PTC copies. STM copies.
Myla copy.
LRD copies.
SRO copies.
CDR copy.
LPS copy.
And with that, our window length does change to 3 minutes and 41 seconds, which is still our limiter for all.
This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 9 minutes and holding with about 33.5 minutes remaining in our scheduled built-in hold. We have a number of polls that are yet to be done. We have a mission management team chairman, John Shannon poll, and John Shannon will conduct a poll of the members of his mission management team for their readiness to proceed with the count. We also have another poll that will be conducted by Jeff Spalding, our NASA test director. And we have a final poll that will be conducted by Mike Leinbach, our launch director. When the count resumes, the ground launch sequencer will be in control of all the critical operations, and the master computer program will issue all of the commands necessary to perform the final critical tasks required to put the vehicle into final launch configuration. The ground launch sequencer monitors about 1,000 different critical orbiter functions during the final 9 minutes of the count, making certain that they don't fall out of limits. And there's been some discussion amongst the launch team members that there's a possibility that we could come out of the hold at T-minus 9 minutes, carry it all the way down to the T-minus 31 second mark, and possibly hold again there for as much as a minute. The reason for doing that would be the liquid oxygen inlet temperatures may be a little bit warmer than desired, and to hold there we will allow the drain back activities to cool the temperatures, and then we will resume. So be prepared. There may be an additional hold at T-minus 31 seconds for a short period of time. That's not a done deal yet. We'll be monitoring the liquid oxygen inlet temperature sensors from here on out through the remainder of the count, but there is a possibility of having another unscheduled hold at T-minus 31 seconds. Again, this will be something that we'll be addressing in real time, so it's something that could occur. Right now, everything is on schedule for launch at 2:38 p.m., T-minus 9 minutes and holding, with about 31.5 minutes remaining in our scheduled built-in hold. This is shuttle launch control.
NTD, this is CPOP, on to call. Go ahead, CPOP. Okay, just going to go ahead and summarize. We've been talking on channel 161, our LOX inlet temps. Let's see. We've just comparing data from the 3 loadings that we've had. We're about a little bit over a half a degree on the LOX inlet temps from where we were the previous 2 launches. And our new LCC MPS-25 with a high limit of minus 281.7. We're watching the high limit on that. We were about 0.3 degrees away the first 2 drainback profiles that we did. And we've got a pre-planned in work. If we skirt that limit on the high side, all we need is a little bit of hold time at T-minus 31 seconds for the drainback profile to occur and the LOX inlet temps to come down and make their typical profile. So we've been coordinating with GLS and SPE, the plan for that. The call for the hold would come from GLS if we excurse on the high side with 2 or 3 temps exceeding the 281.7. And our pre-planned sequence for that is OMI S1003, Operation 700.
Okay, and I guess either for you or GLS, when do we think that we might go through this excursion? How close to 31 are we going to be?
It could be pretty close to 31 seconds there, Jeff.
Okay, and GLS entity?
This is GLS.
Okay, you all feel comfortable with what's being briefed here and that you can stop us at 31 if required?
Yeah, that'll be an automatic hold at 31.
Okay, so it is automatic. I guess that should have been my question to start with. Okay, and let's see, CPOP, how long do you think that we would have to hold at 31?
Well, look at the data. It's a little hard to compare the data that we did on Saturday and Sunday, but probably less than a minute, sir.
Okay, and once we've verified that our temperatures are back in limits, and then at that point, we'll get a go for you. Do you have anything that you need to do from your console perspective?
Okay, not from here from C3, sir.
Okay, and GLS, what do we need to do in the back? Just some cleanup?
Yeah, we just need to do our standard cleanup.
Okay, and that should take, what, maybe 30 seconds?
Yeah, if that.
Okay, and so I guess we want to be spring-loaded here just in case is what we're saying, so we can get through the hold just from a clock perspective, and then get, once their temperatures come back in, be prepared to just pick back up once we get a go from you, CPOP.
Copy that, sir.
Okay, let's see, SPE, anything to add to this, or?
Let's see, NTD, I don't have anything to add. You know, we coordinated back with CPOP, had GLS coordinating back on 161 as well. I think we've got a good plan together. The GLS folks are making sure we're coordinated back here at Integration Console. We will only stop if we violate the 2 of 3, and if we do violate the 2 of 3, we will manage it back here just like we manage any other hold. We will wait for the operator to advise us that he's ready to reset those, and as soon as GLS is cleaned up, we'll be ready to pick up the count at 31 seconds. And if that prediction is correct, hopefully that will only be for less than a minute. So we're set from Integration Console.
Okay, I copy that, and I mean that sounds like a good plan on my end as well. I don't think I have any other questions. I think certainly we can implement all of this, and it sounds like everybody's comfortable with that as well. Yes, sir. Okay, and launch director entity?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm assuming that you copied, but we have a pre-plan that we're looking at if in fact we have this excursion in our temperatures here on the LOX inlet temps, which we're expecting with a strong likelihood that we will. That we'll hold at 31 seconds for about a minute or so until those temps come back in. And then at that point, we'll go through, get a verification back from CPOP and go through our normal cleanup ops, and then we'll be looking for concurrence, I guess, at that point to just continue with the clock.
Okay, copy that and understand all. Thank you.
Okay. All right, sounds good. We'll go ahead and we'll plan for it, and if in fact we need to do it, it sounds like we can work it here with this plan. Copy that, sir. I think that's all I need. Thanks. Houston Flight NTD.
Stand by, NTD.
Sorry.
NTD Houston Flight.
Yes, Flight, let's see. Do we have any Ascent data crew updates?
We have no updates at this time.
Okay, very good.
This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 9 minutes and holding with about 16 minutes 45 seconds remaining in our scheduled built-in hold. We have a number of major milestones that remain between now and launch. We have several polls that will be conducted, finishing up with the final poll by our launch director, Mike Leinbach, to come out of this hold. At T-minus 7 minutes and 20 seconds, the orbiter access arm will be retracted. And at about T-minus 5 minutes, Discovery's pilot Mark Kelly will be given the go to startup of the orbiter's 3 auxiliary power units. We heard some discussion earlier that at T-minus 31 seconds, there is an option to hold there, if required, to allow the liquid oxygen inlet temperatures, which are part of the main propulsion system, and they may be slightly warmer than required. So we'll allow them to cool down sufficiently. This will be done through the drain-back activities of the main propulsion system. The hold could occur for about a minute or so, or perhaps less, but that would happen at T-minus 31 seconds. That is an unscheduled hold time, but we do have an opportunity to hold there just prior to going into auto sequence start. So that is an option that may be enlisted. It might not be known if we're going to actually hold there until we get right down to that point. So stand by for that. If we do hold at T-minus 31 seconds, it will be just for a minute or so. We have about 15 minutes remaining in this current hold at T-minus 9 minutes. No technical issues are being discussed that would keep us from coming out of the hold and launching this afternoon. Weather is looking very good. We have had a recent report from the flight directors in Houston that the return to launch site abort weather, the constraints there have been lifted, and we are meeting. We have met all the constraints, and there are no hurdles yet to clear. So we have a go on all fronts from the weather for launch weather and landing weather. Standing by for coming out of the hold in about 14 minutes 45 seconds. At T-minus 9 minutes and holding, this is shuttle launch control. John Shannon, the mission management team chairman, has just pulled the members of the mission management team, and they have all reported back that they are ready to proceed with a count. This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 9 minutes and holding, and we have 10 minutes remaining in our scheduled built-in hold. Weather forecasters have come back, and they have given us a good forecast. We are observed and forecast go from a weather standpoint. No technical issues are being addressed.
Okay, go.
Yes, sir. At this time, I'd like you to clear hardware caution and memory per your checklist and verify no unexpected errors.
PLP and work. OTC, PLP, hardware caution and memory is cleared. No unexpected errors.
Copy that. 1045 through 1047 complete. MS1, OTC.
OTC, MS1.
Activate V10 recorder.
V10 recorder is activated.
Thank you. 1063 complete.
OTC, PVD.
Go ahead, PVD.
I give you a not performed on 1057 and verify 1058, 1059, and 1060.
Copy all. CISL, JRPS, and Houston Flight perform the L-15 recorder activation. ISL?
ISL copies.
JRPS? JRPS copies. And Houston Flight?
Houston Flight copies. We'll put it in work.
Attention all personnel, this is the entity conducting the launch status check. Verify ready to resume count and go for launch. OTC?
Go.
TBC?
Go.
TTC?
TTC is go.
LTS?
Go.
Houston Flight?
Houston Flight is go.
Mila?
Mila, go.
STM?
STM is go.
Safety Console?
Safety console is go.
SPE?
SP is go.
LRD?
LRD is go.
SRO.
SRO's go. You have range clear to launch.
And CDR.
CDR's go.
Copy all. And Launch Director NTD, our launch team is ready to proceed.
Copy that. Thank you, Jeff. Chief Engineer, verify no constraints to launch.
Engineering team is go, Mike.
Thank you, Charlie. KSC Safety and Mission Assurance.
KSC Safety, go.
Thank you. Halo Launch Manager.
Mike, the space station team is go.
Thank you a lot, Bill. Range Weather.
Weather has no constraints to launch.
Copy, Kathy. Thank you. And Ops Manager.
Launch Director, Ops Manager, the MMT has no constraints. You're clear to launch.
Thank you, sir. Discovery Launch Director.
Discovery, go.
Okay, Steve. Looks like Discovery is ready. The weather is beautiful. America is ready to return the space shuttle to flight. So good luck and Godspeed, Discovery.
Thank you very much, Mike. And I can't think of a better place to be here on the 4th of July on the Independence Day to be getting ready to launch into space. To all the folks at Kennedy Space Center and the shuttle program, thanks a lot for working so hard in the last few days and the last year to get us ready. For all the folks on the Florida East Coast, we hope to very soon get you an up-close and personal look at the rocket's red glare.
Very nice, CDR. Appreciate those words. Good luck, guys. And NTD Launch Director, with that, you're cleared for this launch.
Copy. Thank you, sir.
T-minus 9 minutes and holding with 3 minutes remaining in our built-in hold.
And attention all personnel, our countdown clock will resume in 2 minutes, 45 seconds. Countdown clock will resume in 2 minutes.
T-minus 9 minutes and holding with 1 minute remaining in our hold.
Copy, thank you. Countdown clock will resume in 45 seconds.
And we are just about 20 seconds away from resuming the countdown for the launch of Space Shuttle Discovery today. The countdown clock will start in 3, 2, 1, and we are at T-minus 9 minutes and counting. And the ground launch sequencer has been initiated. NASA Test Director Jeff Spaulding is about to call for the transmittal of stored pre-launch commands as Discovery is prepared for a launch on shuttle mission STS-121 less than 9 minutes away on a 12-day mission to the International Space Station.
CLT, OTC.
CLT, go.
Connect essential buses to fuel cells per your checklist.
CLT, that's in work.
Pilot Mark Kelly is now flipping switches in the cockpit to directly connect the 3 fuel cells to the essential power buses.
Copy.
Coming up on Orbiter Access Arm Retract. This is a walkway used by the crew to gain entry and access to the vehicle. It can be returned to position within seconds if necessary.
CLS is go for Orbiter Access Arm Retract.
Discovery on this, our Independence Day. It is time to put this nation back into space and on course for our journey to Mars. Good luck and have some fun up there.
Thank you, we will.
The Orbiter Access Arm is being retracted at this time. T-minus 7 minutes and counting.
JRPS OTC. JRPS. Start APU display recorders.
Recorders are running.
TLT OTC.
CLT, go.
Perform APU pre-start.
CLT, in work.
The Orbiter Test Conductor, Rudy Tench, has given pilot Mark Kelly the go-ahead to perform the auxiliary power unit pre-start procedures. T-minus 6 minutes and counting.
OTC, PLT, APU, pre-start complete. 3 great talkbacks.
Thank you, PLT.
T-minus 5 minutes, 30 seconds and counting. T-minus 5 minutes and counting. And we have a go for APU start. The auxiliary power unit activation is being reported complete.
CLP and work.
CDR.
CDR go.
Reconfigure heaters.
Copy and work.
T-minus 4 minutes, 30 seconds, and counting. The primary objective of this mission is to continue to test new equipment and procedures that increase the safety of space shuttle flights and to deliver critical supplies to the International Space Station. T-minus 4 minutes and counting, coming up on a final test of the flight control services. That's now being conducted. This is a program pattern of movements designed to verify the readiness for launch of the engines and other flight control surfaces. T-minus 3 minutes and counting. Everything is looking good for launch today, hoping to add to the country's 4th of July Independence Day celebrations.
CLS, let's go for ET, LO2 pressurization.
TLC, OTC.
CLP, go ahead.
Clear caution warning memory. Verify no unexpected errors.
CLP and work. OTC, PLP, caution warning memory cleared, no unexpected errors.
OTC, copy.
The gaseous oxygen vent hood is being retracted away from the top of the external tank at this time.
Discovery, OTC, close and lock your visors and initiate O2 flow.
Copy and work.
T-minus 2 minutes and counting.
CLS, let's go for ET, LH2 pressurization.
T-minus 90 seconds and counting. All systems are go. We're about 90 seconds from the launch of Space Shuttle Discovery. T-minus 60 seconds and counting. We are transferring to orbiter internal power at this time. Discovery is now running off its 3 onboard fuel cells. Coming up on a go for auto sequence start.
CLS, let's go for auto sequence start.
And we have a go for auto sequence start. Discovery's onboard computers have primary control of all the vehicle's critical functions. T-minus 17 seconds and counting. 15. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, go for main engine start, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond.
The Discovery roll program.
Now controlling the flight of Discovery, the Space Shuttle begins the journey back into orbit. Discovery completes its roll. The shuttle now heads down, wings level, for the 8.5-minute ride to orbit. This view from a camera on the external tank's liquid oxygen feed line showing the bird's eye view of Discovery as it races towards space, a star-spangled start to Discovery's mission. Discovery's 3 liquid fuel main engines now throttle back to 67% of rated performance, reducing the stress on the shuttle as it breaks through the sound barrier. Discovery already 3.5 miles in altitude, 1.5 miles downrange, traveling almost 750 miles an hour. Everything looking good on the bird. 57 seconds into the flight, engines beginning to rev up. Standing by for the throttle up call from Capcom Steve Frick.
Discovery Houston, go at throttle up.
Roger, go at throttle up, sounds UHF only.
The throttle up call acknowledged by Commander Steve Lindsay.
Discovery Houston, it's expected day to hit, so it'll clear shortly.
Copy.
Lindsay joined on the flight deck by pilot Mark Kelly, flight engineer Lisa Nowak, and mission specialist Mike Fossum, mission specialists Piers Sellers, Stephanie Wilson, and Thomas Reiter of the European Space Agency down on the middeck. Reiter headed for 6 months on the International Space Station. 1 minute, 47 seconds into the flight, 22 miles in altitude, 18 miles downrange, traveling 2,600 miles an hour. Standing by for solid rocket booster separation. Solid rocket booster separation confirmed. Guidance now converging. Discovery's onboard computers commanding the main engine nozzles to swivel, aiming the shuttle for its precise target in space for main engine cutoff.
We should have a good forward link now on S-band.
And you sound good.
Two minutes, 35 seconds into the flight, 39 miles in altitude for Discovery, 49 miles downrange, traveling 3,200 miles an hour. Discovery now flying on the singular power of its 3 liquid fuel main engines, those power plants draining a half a ton of fuel per second from the shuttle's fuel tank.
Copy, 2-engine Maroon.
That call from Capcom Steve Frick indicating should we lose a main engine, we can make our transoceanic abort target at Maroon, Spain, but all 3 main engines are humming along with the auxiliary power units and the 3 power-producing fuel cells. Booster officer here in Mission Control confirms 3 good main engines, Discovery straight as an arrow, speeding toward a date with the International Space Station on Thursday. 3.5 minutes into the flight, Discovery now 53 miles in altitude, 100 miles downrange, speeding along at a clip of more than 4,000 miles an hour. Discovery nearing the point of negative return where the shuttle would be too far downrange, too high in altitude to return to the launch site in the event of an engine failure.
Discovery Houston, negative return.
Copy, negative return.
4 minutes, 8 seconds into the flight, Discovery 61 miles in altitude, 150 miles downrange, 5,000 miles an hour is its speed. The Environmental Systems Officer reports a good flash evaporator system activated, providing cooling for Discovery's avionics until the time that we open the payload bay doors an hour and a half into the flight. More than halfway to orbit now at the 4-minute, 39-second point into the flight, Discovery 65 miles in altitude, 200 miles downrange from the Kennedy Space Center.
Discovery Houston, no action on the left dome's tank P. It was due to the left dome's accumulator, but it's back up to a good pressure.
Yeah, we see that, Houston. Roger, no action.
That call, an instrumentation issue, no impact. Discovery in good shape, 5 minutes, 15 seconds into the flight, 255 miles downrange, traveling almost 7,000 miles an hour. Discovery soon will be rolling to a heads-up position through the swiveling of its main engines, enabling the shuttle to gain more favorable communications through the tracking and data relay satellite as it heads uphill.
Houston, press to ATO, select ISTRIS.
Roger, press ATO, selecting ISTRIS.
Discovery Houston, single engine, Ops 3.
Single engine, Ops 3.
Those calls indicating that we can make our minimal orbital cutoff targets in the event of a dual engine failure. Roll to heads up in the plane view of this camera on the liquid oxygen feed line. Everything looking good for Discovery, 6 minutes, 11 seconds into the flight.
Discovery Houston, single engine, ISTRIS 104.
Roger, single engine, ISTRIS 104.
That call indicating that we can make our transoceanic abort targets in the event of a dual engine failure. However, all 3 engines on Discovery continue to function normally, along with the auxiliary power units and the fuel cells. 6 minutes, 40 seconds into the flight, 2 minutes of powered flight remaining for Discovery.
Discovery Houston, press to MECO. We show a nominal shutdown plan. Your go for the plus X and go for the pitch maneuver.
Copy, press to MECO, go for the plus X, go for the pitch maneuver, and nominal MECO.
Those calls acknowledged by Steve Lindsay, Discovery's commander, indicating with Discovery now 516 miles downrange that we can make our main engine cutoff targets, all 3 engines in good shape, and that Lindsay will be given the green light to pitch up Discovery to allow umbilical well photography of the external tank after it is discarded. 7.5 minutes into the flight, Discovery's main engines soon will be throttled down to limit the stress on the shuttle and its 7 crew members to that of 3 times the effect of gravity. Discovery currently traveling at a speed of more than 4 miles a second. Discovery traveling 14,000 miles an hour, 675 miles downrange from the Kennedy Space Center, about 40 seconds of powered flight remaining. Eight minutes, 15 seconds into the flight, everything looking good on Discovery, standing by for main engine cutoff. That will be followed a few seconds later by the separation of the external fuel tank. The booster officer reports that we have main engine cutoff, standing by for external tank separation. External tank separation confirmed. Commander Steve Lindsay now maneuvering Discovery to the correct orientation so that video and digital stills of the external tank can be captured by cameras embedded in the shuttle's umbilical well. A smooth ride to orbit for the shuttle Discovery, embarking on what is expected to be a 13-day mission.